This is Project LS. This is a car that has not been able to be completed because we've had so much work inundate this shop. And what really inundated our shop was a lot of major jobs. Stuff that we're building through the shop actually just take a back seat. This, we drug it out, and I have just a little weekend time here to work on this car. So here's the rear axle of the car. It's a stock 57 Chevy rear. I went down a rabbit hole where I should have put a Ford 9-inch in it, but I didn't. I stayed with the factory GM. So I bought a set of Yukon axles, put new bearings in, pressed them in, and did that all up. Upgraded the brakes all around, which the rear brakes are really not a great upgrade, but they're good enough. They're Cadillac calipers. I can still utilize the e-brake. They'll work fine. And then I have upgraded the front brakes in a previous video. So the rear axle, the weakest point on this rear axle at this point will be the spider gears. So anyway, I put in a set of 336s I had on the bench. Real nice set. Re-bearinged it, set backlash, preload. Everything's good, done. I'm happy with it. And I put it in just yesterday. One thing I miss is my little ID tag, and I'll put that in. So with that said, that's done. Completed this all yesterday. We're good here. Now, we're getting ready to yank the engine and the transmission out. So here's my bench. It's a little messy right now, but I keep all my shrink wrap over here, some terminals and packages. I have another terminal box here, and what I do is I like to make connectors and stuff, and then I do all my heat shrinking and soldering even on the connector itself, and then I snug everything down. This has a Walbro pump in it, and it'll produce 60 psi, enough to power that engine. So anyway, I got my hoses all ready to go, and we're going to put it up into this car here. We have an LS1 harness from a 2004 Tahoe. They're generally all the same throughout the years with different variations of pin-ins and pin-outs. And I was able to de-pin the blue and the green connector and make it all nice and whatnot. And this actual harness is actually ready to go in this car. But we're changing plans. This engine's not staying in here, the electronics are all going, everything's gone. So the one we got in the corner, the 6-liter, is going in. We're going to be updating a 4L60E with it with a looser converter, and we're using a Holley Terminator X system. So we really changed plans along the way. This car would have been done had I not stopped the project. We were really rolling on it for a while. But I'm going to show you guys in this video what we're going to do. We're just going to take everything apart, carefully wrap up the harness that I have already kind of coordinated for this car. Tech module and all that other stuff is out of the car already, so we're not going to use that. We're going back to a cable, drive-by cable, and we're going to start taking the engine apart and getting it out. All right, here we go. The harness is out. This intake is going to come off. Pull the coil packs, get the transfill tube out, start taking the headers off. I'm going to take the whole front system off of this. I'm going to transfer it over onto that one. Just going to go. the whole front drive accessory system transferred over, and now it's time to get that off. Here we go. Hey everybody, I want to show you something here. I've been doing automotive for a long time. God, since I was 15, self-taught. Anyway, this is something I had a friend show me, and you know how we just sit here and we just, you know, you jerk it off all day long to get where your height is. I'll show you something neat. Make sure this is valve closed. Can't make this up. I owe this to Niles. There you go, set your height. All right, we're out in one piece. In order for me to do this comfortably with this car, I had to pull the idler arm off of here to drop that down, because that oil pan drops down a little lower and you want to get it over the hump. So I pulled the valve cover so I wouldn't get any scrapes on here, and then I just guided it with a floor jack on the transpan nice and comfortably, and it just slid with, I got it to a point, and then I was able to come right back out. So we're out. We're gonna get ready to get that one in. We gotta figure out what we're gonna do with this bad boy. I gotta upgrade this thing next. All right. All right, so I called Johnny Winters up, and they're gonna be doing the torque converter for my 4L60E. And looks like I'm going into this thing to reprogramming it and check everything out in it. That's what's going on there, swapping over the oil pan on that to that. The front drive accessory is done. Car's all staged here for this to be mated to that, so I got to swap flywheel over, or flex plate, and then after we get the converter back from Winters, and they're going to reflash that and put a new lockup disc in it, we're going to be good there. And we'll bolt it all back up and start plopping it together, put the factory sensors on this, and start dialing it in, putting the Terminator X system on this. That's going to be pretty neat. Plus, I'm going to run 6AN stainless line from the tank all the way up to the back of the intake on here. I only need one. It's returnless. The fuel filter is a Corvette filter, so it will regulate the 60 psi that I need, and it'll return back to the tank off the filter, so that'll be really nice. It's going to be side saddled on the frame rail. Everything is pretty much cut and dry. It's typical LS swap, but this is a unique one. I wanted to upgrade this to this 6 liter. It's an LQ4 modified. It's got 10.5s. I got good pistons in it. Everything's excellent. It's got Gen 4 rods. It's just been a good build all along. So, and where I got this engine from out of the Northeast, I couldn't believe it. It was a waste of time to rebuild it technically. It really was. This engine was just beautiful inside. But anyway, dumb me wants to upgrade compression ratio rather than putting another set of heads on it, so I did it that way. But at least I know everything's fresh, new, checked out, perfect. Important note on when you're rebuilding an LS, you cannot resize the rods. They're throwaways because they're cracked rods. You cannot resize cracked rods. Just footnote. But everything checked out. All right, here we go. Start pulling more stuff apart. So here we are, we got the oil pan off the 4.8, and it's a nice low mileage engine. As you can see, this engine is actually that clean. I got this out of Arizona, really a nice clean specimen. It's only got 80-some thousand miles on it, so it's legit. So what we're going to do, since we took the oil pan off of this because we're repurposing it on that engine, we got another oil pan in. And this is the 302-1 Holley oil pan. And we're going to put this oil pan on that. There's no need to keep that one off. That engine is going to get repurposed for another project. Okay, we're putting the rear main seal on, and this is my alignment tool that I purchased, and then I torqued all this to spec. So that's all centered perfectly. Put the rear main seal in, it comes like this, and it's got lube on here, and then it says on here, this side out. Of course, me being blind, I gotta do that. So anyway, I was able to read that, and then this lines up right on here, and then you push it home. And then we give it a love tap in. Nothing burred on it. They look good. And we'll just love tap home all the way. Take that, and I'm just going to double check it. I think it's already seated though, but I'm going to double check it. Yeah, we ain't going any further. This is our flex plate for a 480E. Now if you notice, see it's got that extra little bit of there on there, and okay, well, here's the difference. Here's a 4L60E. It doesn't have that. So this engine was originally mated to a 4L80E and a 2500 Chevrolet Silverado. So I can't use this anymore. I'm putting the 4L60E to this one. These line up easy. Just to that hole there. And then I'll just walk this on. So my angle was off a little bit, and what that does with this system right here, it screws me up a little bit. So okay, and that side is in also. Alrighty, we're loose off of here. And then down there, I just put a bar there, but it doesn't really need it. It's holding itself really well there. This engine doesn't weigh that much. It's just mid-5s. But yeah, I just put that there. It's actually not doing much there. But this is where the mounts are. They're hard mounts. That's just to secure, just to make sure the engine doesn't go back into here. So we're good. That's going to wrap this one up, guys. I appreciate your time checking in with us here at Classic Car Creations. 6 liters in, we're looking good. Next step is getting that transmission done right there. And of course, that's the old 4.8 that's out of this. That's going to get repurposed. See what happens with that one. That'll be interesting as well. So everyone, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. We'll see you very soon in the next video. Everyone, take care.